What's good, everyone? It is Jordan Santiago. Today I wanted to talk about, I know it's been a while, but I'm back. Today I wanted to talk about, as we go into 2026, absolutely taking control of your 2026, dominating it and having as much control of it as possible. I see a lot of people go into it, into a new year or just into a new chapter in their life and say they want to do something, say they want to accomplish something, and then most of the time it does not happen. They don't have that control over it. They don't have the plan set, right? And it just doesn't come to fruition. I felt like in 2024 is the first year where, not that I mastered anything, but where I fully took control of a lot of different parts of my life. And I just want to break down what I did so that you guys can implement it going into this new year, and have a successful new year in whatever way possible, right? So again, if you don't know, this channel is about real estate. It's about business. It's about life, fitness, all those things that encompass an entrepreneur. Okay, so we're going to be going through that all 2026 and beyond, breaking deals down, breaking businesses down, fitness stuff, life stuff, okay, mentality, all that good stuff. So I want you guys to like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you got to do, show your boy some love. But let's get into it, because this is going to be a very important video on how to dominate your 2026, take full control, and get the result that you actually want. So the first one, by now, okay, by the time you're seeing this, well, by the time I'm posting this, you should have some goals written out. If not, you need to seriously go by yourself in a room, to a coffee shop, whatever it may be, and write down all of your goals, okay? So you must have a set goal list in place of what you want to accomplish by the end of 2026. But that is not enough. That is actually where most people stop right there. Okay, they say, I want to make $100,000 by the end of 2026. I want to lose 30 pounds by the end of 2026. I want to do this. I want to do that by the end of 2026, which is great. That's exactly what you need. That's where you need to start. Okay. The thing that most people forget is to come up with the plan, the actionable steps to get to that goal. Okay. So number one is coming up with a goal, but actionable steps towards it, and then breaking down those steps into micro steps. Okay. So for you to say, I want to make $100,000 by the end of the year, that's great. The things that come after that need to be, one, what is your plan to do that? Okay, how are you going to do that? And then break it down into smaller steps. I want to make $25,000 every quarter. I want to make $8,000 a month. I want to make X amount of dollars a week. I want to make X amount of dollars per day. And that is how you consistently build up small wins. You create that momentum, you build that confidence, and you roll all the way to the end of 2026 to make that $100,000. Same thing with fitness, same thing with any goal that you have. So you have to set an end sight, and then you have to break it down and reverse engineer it from where you are right now and what you need to do. Do not just say, I want to make $100,000 by the end of the year, and then do nothing, and don't come up with a plan, because I promise you, you're not going to do it. I promise you, you are not going to achieve that goal if that's all you do. If all you do is write down on a fucking vision board, yeah, $100,000, and you write down in your notes, yeah, I'm going to make 100 grand. You're not going to make 100 grand. You're just not. You need to have actionable steps. You need to reverse engineer from where you are or where you want to be all the way back to where you are right now and what you need to do. Do not just think of the long-term goal. Break it down into smaller goals. So on your way to your long-term goal, you're hitting and achieving smaller goals on your way there. All right. So number one, again, is come up with a goal, but then also create actionable steps and break those actionable steps down to quarters, months, weeks, days. So you know what you need to do on a daily basis to reach that long-term goal. All right. Number two is, and this may not be easy for some of you depending on your personality. For this is very easy for me. I actually love this part. Okay. But it's actually to isolate yourself. Okay. And let me explain. Isolation as an entrepreneur, isolation as someone that is driven, isolation that is as someone that is ambitious, that is trying to achieve certain goals, is some of the most important time that you can have to achieve goals, or to come up with a plan to achieve goals, or to learn something. Okay. Networking is great. Going to networking events is great. Being with this person is great. Going hanging out with this group is great. Not saying don't do that. But you need to dedicate time to isolate yourself alone in a room with no distractions whatsoever. Okay, that could be to learn a new skill. That could be to work on new processes, some new systems, to do research on what you're trying to accomplish, right? To break down your plan even further of what you're trying to accomplish, to study, to do whatever it is that you need to do, and remove yourself from distractions. I always say, for me, on Friday nights, okay, because Monday through Friday, everyone gets caught up in the day-to-day. right? You got to do this. You got shit to do here. You got to pick this up. You got to work on this. It's all day-to-day stuff. You never really get ahead, even though you are progressing, but you don't get that full leap jump ahead that you really want to go a little further quicker. Okay, for me, it's Friday nights. I drink an espresso shot or a triple shot espresso at 6, 7 p.m. and I stay up to 2 a.m.-ish, right? Just working the whole day because it gets quiet on Friday night, right? Everyone goes and parties. They meet up with this person. They got this concert to go to. For me, and this is not like any hustle culture bullshit or anything like that. I genuinely love working. I love building. And I do spend my own time with my family and my friends. But Friday nights is my isolation point. Okay, where I'm like, all right, this is where it's quiet. No one else is working. Okay, and this is where I can build. This is where I can tweak. This is where I can look at my KPIs. This is where I can see where I can get better and adjust. This is where I can learn about new things. This is where I can try new things out. Okay, isolation is going to be one of the most important things that you can do. And if you are someone that always needs to be with someone, you got to break out of that. Okay, because most of the time you are caught up in what they're doing. They're caught up in what you're doing. You need to be caught up in your goals, on your studies, on your research, on your, again, the goals of what you're trying to accomplish, the little tweaks and adjustments that are going to push you forward to get to that goal. Those are the things that you need to focus on. So you need to push away distractions, push away bullshit, okay, and isolate yourself. Even with food, if you're into fitness, isolate the food that you have. Don't bring in snacks into your crib. Don't bring in sugary drinks. Don't bring in the bullshit. Isolate yourself. Isolation goes in multiple different ways, okay? If you learn how to isolate yourself, if you learn how to be alone as an entrepreneur or as just a person with goals, you will go much further. If you always need to be around someone to laugh and need support by someone, you're gonna struggle. Okay, learn how to be alone. It is some of the most important times as just a person, but especially as an entrepreneur. Number 3 is you truly do have to learn to forget about your feelings. And I know that sounds harsh. I know that sounds, mental health, and I'm big on all that stuff. Okay, but when it comes to a point where you have a certain goal, you're never gonna feel like doing what it takes to get to that goal every single day, 100% of the time. You're just not. Okay, if that was the case, everyone would be reaching their goals. Everyone would be rich. Everyone would be fit. Everyone would be smart. It would be super easy. Okay, you really need to, going into 2026, or if you're watching this already into 2026, you really need to discipline yourself into being focused on the goals, on what you're trying to achieve, on your why. Why do you want to achieve that thing instead of how you feel on that day to day? Okay, you may wake up, you may feel a little sick. You may feel tired. You may feel like you don't want to do that. You may feel a little foggy in the brain. You're not focused. Okay. The most important thing that you need to do in 2026 to reach whatever goal you want to reach is to show up daily or show up on whatever schedule that works for you. It doesn't have to be daily. I'm not telling you to work 7 days a week, go work out 7 days a week, but whatever schedule is working for you that you know is productive and progressive for yourself, that's the schedule that you need to show up on every single day, or every single part of that schedule. For me, again, I wake up at 4:50 to 5 a.m. every single day, Monday through Friday, like clockwork, and I go to the gym. My body won't even allow me not to because I'm so routine based. Doesn't matter how tired I am. Doesn't matter if I wake up and I have a headache, my fucking stomach hurts, whatever it may be. I'm waking up and I'm going because I know that day, I have a long-term goal, but I know that day that I wake up is a small part towards progress of that long-term goal. So it doesn't matter if you feel like, oh, I want to eat this bullshit, or I don't want to work today. I don't want to study this so I can get better and learn and be ahead of my competition. It doesn't matter how you feel. It matters what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, so rely less on your feelings and your emotions because your goals do not give a shit about your feelings or your emotions. They don't. All your goals care about is the work that you put in. All your goals care about is the amount of times you show up and you work and you study and you fail and you win. That's the only thing your goals care about. So learn how to discipline and rely less on your feelings and emotions and just focus more on your goals and just step up to the fact that it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. And I promise you'll make much more progress going into 2026 with all your goals in place. Number 4 is get help from people that are better than you. Get help from people that have mastered what you're trying to master. okay? If you can afford it, if you can make that work. Because all that's gonna do is it's gonna make you a smarter person, it's gonna make you a more resourceful person, it's gonna increase your network, and it's gonna get you to your end goal faster. Stop trying to fucking penny pinch and save every dollar because you're scared to lose. You gotta take some risks. You gotta invest into a mastermind, into a mentorship, into a course, into a trainer, whatever it may be. I'll give you a perfect example. From 2017 all the way to 2023, I was trying to achieve a body where I had like a six pack, was able to get lean, and I couldn't figure out the balance of my specific body because I don't really know too much about it, okay? Beginning of 2024, I hired a trainer. By June, 6 months, okay, I had a six pack, I was lean. Because I hired a trainer that knew my whole body, right? Was able to understand the breakdowns of my macros and the foods that I was eating and my metabolism, all that shit that I didn't know about. Okay, I took 6 years trying to get it done by myself and I failed. It took 6 months with someone that is smarter than me in that field to get it done. Okay, I wish I would have went back 6 years ago and did that. I would be way further than I am right now in terms of fitness and things of that nature. It's the same thing with anything. It's the same thing with school. It's the same thing with if you're trying to learn a new skill, if you're trying to start a new business. Go find someone that is better than you and learn from them, whether it be free, whether you got to pay, whether it doesn't matter. All that's going to do is compress the timeline, which is going to be, again, another important thing that we speak about here. It's going to compress the timeline to get you from point A to point B, which point B is where you want to be much quicker. Okay, so you could either, pocket $1,000 and spend 3-4 years trying to get to where you're trying to get to, or you could spend that $1,000 on someone that may help you, fast track that point A to point B in 6 months or a year. Okay, you want to get to point B as quick as possible. You don't want to rush it, because when you rush it, you try to get rich quick, all that bullshit. That's when, you go down a rabbit hole that usually doesn't work and it comes back to bite you. Okay, but go find someone that is better than you, that has already mastered what you're trying to master, that has already excelled at what you're trying to excel at, and go learn from them. It will compress the timeline and speed up your success. Last one, and this is the most important one, okay, is move with a sense of urgency. Compress your timeline. Act like you're fucking hungry for what you're trying to achieve, okay? The number one indicator of someone that's trying to achieve something is a sense of urgency. Time don't wait for no one. Stop thinking time is gonna wait for you, okay? You have a goal, go now. Go now. Don't wait, because it's never gonna be perfect, okay? There's a saying that says, the cold water doesn't get warmer the longer you wait. It's gonna be cold, it's gonna be uncomfortable, it's gonna be hard. Just jump, just go, okay? You need to compress timeline, because tomorrow you can get hit by a bus and that's it. You need to go now, and I'm not saying you need to rush. I'm not saying you need to rush. Don't try to get rich quick, because you're not. Don't try to get fit in a month, because you're not. But you need to take those small daily actionable steps that we were talking about in part one and move on them now. Okay, you want to go achieve something, come up with a plan and go now. All right, you need to move with a sense of urgency. The people that have the most success with goals within business, okay, within investing, is someone that has a sense of urgency. They want to go learn quick. They want to go fail quick so they can win quicker. Right? So you need to move quick. You need to move with a sense of urgency. You need to do whatever it takes to compress that timeline from where you are right now to where you want to be. Not in a rushy way. Again, I want to double back on that. Not in a rushy way, but in a way where you're making the correct progress because you're taking action now. Not because you said, oh, you know what? I want to lose 30 pounds, but I'm going to start right now. It's January. I'll start in March. I'll start in April. There's no point in that, okay? There's no point in that. Or you want to do this business venture, or you want to implement this in your business, but you're going to start in 3-4 months. Doesn't fucking matter, okay? Doesn't make sense. Start now, move with a sense of urgency. If you move with a sense of urgency with every single one of your goals and you think about them daily and you say, listen, I want to make progress every single day, there's no way you lose. There's no way you don't at least come close to hitting your goals. All right. So guys, if you implement those 5 things, I promise you, I'm not telling you any of this is easy too. If you want to come to me and say, oh yeah, this is going to be easy, you could do this, I ain't the guy. Okay. I'm just giving you the real shit. This is going to be hard. It's going to take a change of a person of who you are. Okay. But if you do those things, you will look at yourself at the end of 2026 and be like, wow, I'm a new person. I'm a different person. I'm definitely not where I was when I watched this video. I am a different person that progressed and is at a different level, which I want for everyone. And what I found in 2024 was those 5 things that I implemented in 2025, which brought me up another level. And I'm excited for 2026 to do the exact same thing as well. Again, not easy. It's hard, but it's necessary. So if you guys like this video, just like, subscribe, comment. We're gonna be dropping videos every single week regarding real estate investing, deal breakdowns, the back end of my businesses, fitness, lifestyle, mindset, all that good shit, all right? So come along the journey. It's gonna be a fun one all 2026. Let's win. I'll see you on the